The 2022 NBA season has been full of action. From jaw-dropping slam dunks to crazy plays, we've seen just about everything this season. But basketball isn't always all serious. It's actually full of hilarious moments. Whether it's an air ball at the free throw line or a reporter falling flat on her face, we've got you covered. In today's video, we're going to talk about the most hilarious moments of the 2022 NBA season. First up, Tristan Thompson has something in his eyes. You'd imagine that players are pretty fresh in the first minute of the game, no? No fatigue and no real pressure either. Like, the game's just getting started, no need to panic. But what happened to Tristan Thompson wasn't just downright embarrassing, but his reaction to it all was super funny. Thompson found himself at the free throw line after getting fouled by a player on the Memphis Grizzlies. And free throws are routine for these guys. They spend a good couple of hours every single day shooting from the free throw line. So Chicago's number 3 lines himself up, buries his feet into the court, and gets ready to sink a routine free throw. To everyone's surprise, the ball ends up landing a good 3 or 4 feet before the basket. It wouldn't make sense if it bounced off the rim or something, but no. It literally didn't even come close to going in the basket, and all you can hear is everyone laughing at the back. What made everything even more hysterical is how Thompson just couldn't believe what just happened. He blinked really hard a couple of times and nodded his head in absolute disbelief. He just couldn't believe how bad he messed up a free throw. It's just one of those moments when the reaction is much more hilarious than what actually happened. Don't think about it too much, Thompson, but for next time, just don't make it more funny by making weird faces. Up next, a nasty spill. After their 13-point victory over the Hawks, the Clippers were ecstatic. The fans were having a good time. Players were talking about the game and having some really fun moments. It was just good vibes all around. Even reporter Christina Pink could be seen sharing a laugh with shooting guard Amir Kafi after congratulating him for the win. But what happened next was just so awkward and funny. And we get it, anyone can fall, but the way Christina fell flat on her face was so comical. Instead of falling on her side or back like a normal human being catching themselves, Pink falls flat on her face as if someone just pulled the ground beneath her feet. It has to go down as one of the weirdest, most awkward falls we've ever seen in the NBA. Like, who even falls like that? And the fact that a couple of players were trying to hold their laughter just made it so much more amusing. We're guessing the mascot just staring at her had a really great time giggling underneath that suit. Was it her heels? We don't know. Was it funny though? Absolutely. Oh, and in case you're wondering, Christina is perfectly fine and didn't suffer any injuries. But thanks, you surely gave us a laughing fits, Christina. And now, Christian's deadly accuracy. You know what'll always be more funny than falling? Seeing someone get hit in the head by a ball. It's just one of those things that's always manages to crack us up. But geez, that was some deadly accuracy. Where Tristan Thompson is having trouble making free throws, Christian Wood is hitting fans right on the head from half the court away. To be fair, Wood did sort of lose his balance as the ball left his hand, but come on, man, what were you even aiming at? It's like Wood didn't even want to pass the ball and deliberately threw it at her head. And the fact that she wasn't even sitting and actually walking toward her seat just made everything so much more funny. Like, talk about being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But hey, if getting hit on the head with a basketball means courtside tickets to any game of your choice, then by all means. Hit us in the head, Wood. That's right. The Rocket was such a gentleman afterwards that he offered her courtside tickets to any game of her choice. Who had the last laugh now? How about another one? Getting hit on the head is one thing, but oh boy, getting hit right in the face is just funny on the different level. Not to mention how it probably hurts more too, but it wasn't so much the getting hit on the face part that was funny, it was actually that King James did afterwards. Now, Dwight Howard is a really strong guy, and as the ball was just about to go out of bounds, he tried to save it by whipping it right at Wendell Carter's face. Lucky for Carter though, he was wearing protective goggles that saved him from a bloody nose, but it was just too hilarious to see his goggles dismantle from the frame and separate into 2 different pieces. And then LeBron squats down, picks up the broken goggles, and puts them on like nothing ever happened while Carter is staring at him wearing only the frame. Carter's teammates wanted to laugh real bad, but barely managed to hold it together to avoid messing with their own player. But that's your own basket. Losing is frustrating, we totally get that, and losing by 19 points is even worse, but you know what really sucks? Scoring in your own basket. Not only do you end up losing by more than 20 points, but you also get to be a part of the 2022 NBA Bloopers reel. Kevin Porter was feeling pretty down. He wasn't too happy with how his team performed. But come on, are you going to start scoring in your own baskets gets now? It's not even like he did it on purpose. He was just as shocked as everyone else in the arena, and being Raptors fans, we just couldn't stop laughing at how tragic of a night it must have been for Porter and the Rockets. But you know what's really funny about all this? The match was actually being played in Houston, so all that laughing we heard in the crowd was actually coming from their own fans. Now, to be fair, it wasn't like his basket made much of a difference. It's just how stunned he was that it actually went in. For a second, it looked like he was going to dunk the ball, but instead he bounced it really hard off the ground in what looked like frustration, and it just went up and through the basket. All Porter could do was stare at the ball in his hands while his own fans laughed on. Now, for a second, imagine if that game was being played in Canada. Laughing is all we would have heard. And if you think this self-burn from Porter was funny, wait till you hear what fans had to say about it. One person commented how Kevin legit had a heart attack when it went in, but tried to play it cool like it didn't even matter. Another person commented how Porter was so powerful that not even his team could stop him. He scores on whatever side he wants. Next up, a time for everything. Imagine being so addicted to basketball that you just can't function without watching the game. Or maybe you just love sitting courtside and pranking players. Famous YouTube star Jai Dion was getting like everyone else waiting for the Timberwolves game to get going. And out of nowhere, a guy pops up behind him and puts a drape around his neck, takes out a trimmer, and starts giving him a haircut. No, we're not even kidding right now. Dion is getting a haircut right in front of an NBA game, whilst the whole arena is erupting with laughter. He even manages to make the big screen when the cameraman notices just how absurd the moment is. Anthony Edwards almost lost his breath laughing at how Dion managed to keep a straight face during all of this. Easily goes down as one of the funniest moments of the season. Just like how there's a time for haircuts, there's also the right time for cleaning up the court. But the OKC cleanup crew does whatever they want. You can't stop these guys or question their commitment to keeping that court clean. It almost was like the Thunder were playing 7-on-5 basketball with 2 extra players blocking a scoring attempt by the Wolves. Bruh, who cleans up sweat spots during the fast play? Is this some new strategy we weren't notified about? Teams can now call 2 cleanup guys to block the opposing team once whenever they want. Lucky for the Wolves, they were up by a lot, so they didn't make too much of a deal. But it was just so funny to watch. All we could think about is who even let these 2 guys on the court. That's it from our side, folks. So, what do you think? What was the funniest moment for you in the 2022 NBA season? Did we miss something really good? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.